On April 17, 2011, the world was introduced to Game of Thrones. It quickly gained a large fan base and became a heavily talked about show. The series ran for 8 seasons, ending on May 19, 2019. Fans of the show have got no GOT action in 2 years, and now the characters they came to love are back in life. What do we know so far? How are fans reacting? Stay tuned to find out. What's the plot? Set 200 years before Game of Thrones, this prequel will tell the story of a chaotic period for House Targaryen. The show is set to air in 2022, and although the details of the show are being kept very secure, there are still a lot of things to discuss about the show, including a new teaser trailer that was released. The Targaryen civil war that the show focuses on is what will go on to be discussed in Game of Thrones as the Dance of the Dragons. George R.R. Martin, creator of the show, answered the question on everybody's mind. Yes, there will be lots and lots of dragons in the show. The show is very faithful to the book it was based on, so it's pretty much safe to assume that the prequel will be the same way. The book for House of the Dragons was released quite recently, so some fans may not have had the chance to read the book yet. The prequel takes place quite a long time before the show, but not as long before as the original planned prequel that would have taken place 1,000 years before the show. Who's the cast? Of course, none of the actors from the original show will be featured, given the fact that it's 200 years before their characters would have been born. We're instead met with some new faces. Paddy Considine will star as the successor of the old king, Jaehaerys Targaryen. Viserys Targaryen, daughter of Otto Hightower, and of the king, will be played by Olivia Cooke. Her father Otto will be played by Rhys Ifans. Firstborn child of the king, Princess Rhaenyra Targaryen, will be played by Emma D'Arcy. Princess Rhaenys Venerean will be played by Eve Best. Lord Lyman Beesbury will be played by Bill Patterson. The role of Lord Lionel Strong will be played by Gavin Spokes. Prince Daemon Targaryen will be played by Matt Smith. He's the younger brother of King Viserys, and he is the heir to the throne. A set cast of experienced actors. We can only await and see how this cast goes, but creators of the show have spoken on the cast, saying that they believe the cast has done the show's writing justice. If the creators can vouch for them, we can only expect them to do well. What do the people behind the camera have to say? As discussed, the show's creators have stated that they believe the cast holds up well for the new prequel, but there's not more to say by the people that helped the show be made. Director Miguel Sapochnik has claimed that while the show stays respectful to what the original show is, there's also a new tone for the series. As he puts it, that said, we can't say, well, when we did Thrones, we did it this way. Continuing on to say, if you start every sentence with that, you've lost. This is something else, and should be something else. Sapochnik pointed out that there's a different cast and a different crew, so it only makes sense that things will be somewhat different. Basically, what Sapochnik was saying is that we can expect the core foundation that helped us fall in love with Game of Thrones, but it also offers up something new and original. Showrunner Ryan Condal went further with a statement, adding that they're trying to approach the show both honoring all the things that were great about Game of Thrones, but to not do, as he puts it, a cover of the song you've heard before. How did fans react? Before fans were met with a trailer of the series, they got to see photos of the characters that are in the show. After seeing the trailer, they were impressed with these new characters in action. Many fans were quick to show their appreciation for the trailer, some praising the show for what they believed to be the show creators actually listening to their audience. Some said that the new trailer completely made up for the disappointment they felt for the ending of the original show. One of the most notable things of the show, the Iron Throne, was even brought back for the show, and fans didn't fail to acknowledge it. Some fans were very excited, talking about how good the Iron Throne actually looked. Many fans have expressed their excitement to see new characters sit on the already infamous Iron Throne. Fans did not hesitate to point out how much closer the throne was to the thousand blades of Aegon's enemies. With the amazing trailer, the great ensemble of actors and actresses that were cast, and the new look of the Iron Throne, fans are very, very excited for the new prequel series to their much-loved show. Who else will be working on the show? As we know, the shows are based on the books originally written by George R.R. Martin. We as well know that Ryan Condal is involved, considering the fact he is who George R.R. created the prequel series with. Condal will share showrunning duties with director Miguel Sapochnik, who is also credited with directing some of the most notoriously great episodes of the original show, including The Long Night from Season 8 and Battle of the Bastards from Season 6. Sapochnik will direct multiple episodes of the show. He will be the man behind the camera of the show's pilot. Some more of the producers that have been 100% confirmed producers include Bitsny Gerardinus, Rod Schmidt, and Sarah Lee Hess. Aside from Sapuchinik, directors Claire Kilner, Greg Yautanes, and Gita V. Patton will also have brought on board. In terms of music, composer Raymond Dewajdi is returning to the Game of Thrones franchise to score the new show. Another thing to note is that according to a report by Variety, House of the Dragon will be the first show to make use of the new V stage, which is a virtual production stage at a Warner Brothers in Leavesden, UK. What to expect in the future? House of the Dragon will air on HBO and HBO Max in 2022. While there's no 100% set release date, we do know that it will definitely be next year. Show creators let out what to be expected in the future, and as they said, there will be differences. The show will keep some of the main Game of Thrones features, such as the nudity, the violence, and the dragons. As stated, this was something George R.R. Martin made sure we knew of, talking about the flying, fire-breathing creatures. Clothing is said to resemble the clothing more in the latter seasons. The clothing in the show are designed by costume designer Michelle Clapton. Jay Tamine, the mind behind the wardrobe of the Harry Potter franchise, also designed clothes for several James Bond films. The main character of the show will be focused on will not be alone on his adventures. He'll be joined by his two sisters, Rhaenys and Visenya. The show will focus on the notorious Westeros history civil war, known in the show as the Dance of the Dragons. It'll be between siblings Aegon II and Rhaenyra regarding taking of the throne after the death of Viserys I, their father. How did the Game of Thrones cast react to the prequel? Nikolaj Coster-Waldau gave his opinion on the trailer to House of Dragon, and he had mostly kind things to say about the new prequel series. He admitted that he had seen the trailer, and after watching, he came away, as he says, intrigued. He said on the show, "I thought it was fun to see Matt Smith in that world, in that beautiful white wig." He said that he was excited as everyone to see the new prequel to the show he once starred on. Kit Harington, a large star on Game of Thrones, recently let out that he had seen the show and wasn't exactly as enthusiastic as his co-star, Nikolaj Coster-Waldau. He let it out that they had thought it might be painful to watch due to the fact that he has a lot of common emotion connected to the series. He also mentioned that due to the similarities in the two shows and their music and style tone, it'd be hard to watch the show and see that he's not a part of it anymore. Harrington said of the new show, "There's no emotion connected to that for me. I think to see people get into outfits and costumes that resemble what we wore for all those years." There's a lot to expect in the next year regarding House of the Dragon. With an incredible cast, an awesome looking trailer, and shown dedication to the original show, a lot of people are putting their faith in House of the Dragon. Do you think it'll be as good as the trailer looks? Did you enjoy the final season of Game of Thrones? Do you think this season will be better or worse?